Hello, my friend. Till previous video, we have implemented most of the sections of this app, and in this video, we're gonna configure our Firebase. So let's get started and add the user database and product database. So at first, we will go to our web browser, go with Firebase, and we will go to the Firebase console. There comes our project, and then in the build section, we're gonna go with Firebase database. Okay. And here, create database. So we are not going to go with the production mode. We are going to go with the test mode. So here we will switch to the test mode next. And here you just select your region. Okay. So here I will be going with Asia South Mumbai. So let's enable it. So make sure you choose it wisely, because after you choose it and enable it, you can't rechange it. Okay. So here I'm going with Asia South 1. Okay, my database is here. So I'm going to edit the rules here. In rule section, I will go here and edit the codes. Okay. So allow read write. I will just simply remove this if statement. Okay. Just cut it down. And also I need to remove this. Okay. Yeah. And I will go with publish. Yeah. My rules have been published. Okay. I'm in my database here. So my database is configured. Now I have to go with the codes for the database. So let's get started. So here I have created two files in model section, that is user model and address model. So let's implement the user model. So I will create a class and name it user model. And the parameters we're going to accept here will be string name, string name, string mobile number, and the last one will be user type. So why we're taking this user type is because we want to check that the user is a normal user or a sailor. Okay. So to implement the JSON, we will click here and then this bulb icon, and then we will create generate constructor. And after that, we will again click here, and here we will go with generate JSON serialization, and it's done. Okay. So the next thing we're going to implement is the address model. So I've already added those parameters, that is name, mobile number, house number, area, landmark, pin code, town, state, and is this address your default address or the user's default address. So we'll again click here, generate constructor, and then generate JSON serialization. Okay. So it's done. So now let's add another package here that will be Cloud Firestore. Yeah, I will write Flutter pub add Cloud Firestore. Yeah, so why do we need this Cloud Firestore? It's because this package is gonna link our app to the Firebase database. Okay. So in the controller section, we're gonna go to services, and then here we'll make a new folder and name it user data CRUD services. So this CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. Okay. So basically in APIs, we do this CRUD operations only. Create, that is creating a new data. Read means the data is there, we want to read it, update the data, and delete the data. And here we will go with a new file and name it user data CRUD services dot start, and the class here gonna be class user data CRUD. Okay, so we inside this class we will add a lot of like multiple functions to create, read, and update and delete the data. So let's implement those functions. So the first function we're gonna implement here will be like add a new user. So here I will go with static add new user. Okay. So we need to declare two things here. We will go to constant, and here we will add the Firebase thing, that is, and the second one will be Firebase Firestore Firestore equals to Firebase Firestore dot instance. Okay, so we declared it in the constant file because we will be in need of these two things like a lot in lot of the codes. So instead of like uh, writing it again and again, we will just simply write it here and we will reuse these codes. So I will come back to the services, and here will be auth services. That's not auth service. We'll come to get here add new user. So we will require user data CRUD. Okay. So we'll go here and use the model. Okay. That will be user model model user model required build context. Okay. So now here we will add the user. So we will wrap the entire thing using try catch block. So here will be try catch. Okay. So inside try we will go with await. Okay, we also do need to mark this function as sync because we're gonna use await here. Await fast to dot collection, and here the collection's name will be users dot doc, and the doc name here gonna be the user's phone number, that will be auth dot current user dot phone number. Okay, so the phone number can be null, so we will add a null check icon here, or null check character here. Then dot set, the set means like I'm updating this model here, and here will be user model dot when complete we gonna show a toast message here. Okay, like currently we don't have any toast package, so we'll add a toast package that will be Flutter pub add Flutter toast. Okay, okay. When complete, we for now we'll go with log and okay. So now instead of Dart mat, we're gonna go with Dart developer. So here, the codes are gonna be await fast store, the collection of or the database collection here be user, and inside users we will go with the user's phone number, and then we will add the user model or the user's data there. So after the completion, we're gonna go or show a toast message. So it will be common functions. So I've added a toast function in the common function. So here it is the toast function. So it basically takes two parameters, that is context and the message. What toast message you want to show. So it takes the message and there goes the background color is going to be white, text color going to be black. Okay. And the font size is 16. Okay. So here common functions dot blank space and sorry, that's dot will be blank space. That will be show toast context and the message will be user added successful. Let's save this one. And here in the catch, we will do the same. That is e dot to string. Sorry, it will be e dot to string. So we want to know what is the arrow, and we also want to display the toast like the error toast here. Okay. So in message, it will be e dot to string. Okay, let's save this one. So now we have to implement a function which will check that the current user is already there in our database or not. So static future, and it will be check user. Sorry, this line of code will be after this. Okay, it was like I wrote that function inside a function. Okay, async. Yeah, await. So this function, this check user, what you will do, it will check whether the user who is currently using our software or application is already there in our database or not. Okay, let's implement this function. Await firestore dot collection, and here it will be users dot where we'll go to user model. So the only parameter from which we can uniquely identify any user is this parameter, this mobile number. Okay, I will copy it, go back here. So where basically accepts two fields, that is the parameter name and the parameter value. So dot where is equal to and here it will be auth dot current user dot phone number dot get. Okay, so after getting this one, we will go with dot. Then if I get the value value dot size greater than 0, then return true, else return false. Value dot size greater than 0, return true, else return false. Okay, so let's save this one. Yeah, so again we're gonna wrap this entire thing in a try catch block. Try catch. Yeah. Now simply copy this one. And here in catch, we will go with log. And we want to see what's the error here. E dot toString. Yeah, it looks good. So we will execute this function after the user is authenticated. As soon as the user is authenticated, we want to check like this user is present in our database or not. So we will go to auth services, check authentication, right? Yeah. Here it is there, this check authentication, and after user is authenticated, then send it to user bottom bar, else here. Okay, there will be another function. Okay, yeah, it will check that whether the user data is already there in database or not. If the user data is present in database, then he or she will be direct to our home screen. Else we will display him a screen where he or she needs or our user needs to add those data. So let's implement that screen where we will include three text fields that are going to be name, mobile number, and user tag. Okay. In view user folder, we will add a new folder and name it user data screen. And add a new file here, naming it user data input screen.dart. Let's go with a stateful widget here and name it user data input screen. Okay. So here we will return a scaffold and app bar. It is going to be the same app bar and as this one. Okay. The use section one. So here there'll be only Amazon, nothing else. This notification won't be there. This search icon won't be there. So let's copy this app bar from there. So we'll go to home, not home. That's gonna be profile, I think so. Yeah, that's profile screen. So we'll go to profile screen and copy this app bar and paste it here. Okay. So we also do need to add three parameters, that is width, height, and text theme. So we'll go to profile screen, copy them and paste it here. Okay. So we do have our image here and we don't need those two icon buttons. So we will remove them. Okay. This row. So paid axis alignment will be main axis alignment dot start. Save it. So currently we can't view the screen. So what I will do is go to the main screen, and instead of this sign in logic, we're gonna go with home user data input screen and save this one. Okay, I think I need to restart the app. Yeah. So here it looks good. Now we need to add three fields here, or you can say three text fields here, where the username, user mobile number, and users. Okay, we don't need those three parameters, I think so. Let's go to the home screen model. These two parameters, we need to go with these two parameters. So let's add those. So here, after this prefer side, we will go with body, and here will be a container. Height gonna be high, and width gonna be width. Okay. Another thing, we need to declare two controllers here. That will be text reading controller, name controller equals to text editing controller, and another will be phone number controller. Okay. So phone controller, we will go with init state. So here we will add this code, that is widget binding dot instant at post frame callback. Okay. So inside this, we will go with phone controller dot text equals to, yeah. So here will be auth dot, here we need to import this auth. So we'll simply import this auth dot current user dot phone number. Okay. Yeah. Save this one. So here, yeah, this container needs to be, okay, we are in the body section. So we'll add padding. Yeah. Sorry, not decoration. Padding. There will be edge inserts dot symmetric, and horizontal, we're gonna go with width into 0.03, and vertical gonna be height into 0.02. Save this one. Child, it's gonna be column. Children, text editing controller. So instead of writing this entire thing, we can do one thing. We can go to our auth screen and copy from here. Sign in, not sign in. We need to go to sign up, create account. So we will copy this text field, come back here and paste it here. Okay. Now let's save this one. Okay, it looks good. So above it, we also going to add another thing that is going to be text. And here it will say, enter your name. And the styling wanna be text theme dot display media, not display medium, body medium. Yeah. So column cross-axis alignment gonna be star. And we need to add a little bit of free spacing here. Common functions dot blank space height into 0.01 comma 0. Yeah. Let's save it. Okay. So here, first and last name. The controller will be name controller. Okay, it's good. And another thing we need to add here, we will just simply remove this height and column main axis size dot max. Okay. The another thing will be the phone number. So we'll paste it here, and we will also need a blank space in between these two. And this blank space will be of like 2, and enter your, not enter, phone number. Okay. So here we will mark this read only parameter to true. So user can't be able to edit this field, and it's good. Okay. So phone number, here it will be enter your phone number. And here, enter your name. Let's save it. Okay. Now it looks good. Now we also need to go with the submit button here. We will go with const spacer and elevated button. So in child, we will go with text, and it will be proceed. And styling, it will be text theme dot body medium, copy with color white. Sorry, color will be the same black, and font width, it's gonna be bold. Yeah. Okay. Let's save this one. Now it's showing us proceed, but here we need to add a little bit of styling. Elevated button dot style from, background color gonna be amber, and minimum size gonna be size. The width gonna be width, and for the height I'm going to go with 6% of the screen height. Yeah, let's save this one. Yeah, now it looks good. So I think so we can skip this board. Let's have a look like how it looks like without this board. Okay. Okay, it looks good. Now the moment we press this proceed one, we need to trigger this auth function. Oh, sorry, this code function, that is add new user. Okay. So I will come back here. User data crud dot add new user. So here will be user model name gonna be name controller dot text dot trim. So this trim basically does this thing, like any blank space, it will remove those blank space. That's it. Phone. There is mobile now. It's gonna be phone controller dot text dot trim, and user type gonna be user. Okay. So basically there will be two types of user, that is normal user and seller. And here user model equals to So basically what it will do, like on pressing the submit button, it will first check, like it will add all of the data in the user model, and then it will push the data to our Firestore. Okay. It will add those data to the Firestore, and then we when complete, okay, successful, and then we want to navigate it to home screen. Okay. So let's keep it till here. Let's take the functionality first. So we will go to our user data input screen, not this one, sorry, the sign-in logic, and we will add a function that is check user. Okay. So what it will do is await user data CRUD dot check user pool user already there equals to this function. Okay. And if user already there push navigator dot push page transition child, it's gonna be by default it's user bottom navbar, and the type will be right to left. Okay. And it will we will mark it const, not const. Yeah. If if it's the value user is already there, then it will send it to bottom navbar. Else we will copy it again and make it user data input script. Okay. So here in user data input screen, so at first the data, we will just type out those data, and then it will go to add new user. And after it comes here, we want that navigator dot push. Sorry, here it will be push and remove until new route. Here it will be page transition. Child, it will be sign in logic, and type, it's going to be right to left. Yeah. Got it. Now save it. So basically, whenever a new user data is like added to our database, it will first show a toast message, and then it will remove all of the previous screens, and again it is kind of like the app will restart. It's because we want to check that the user is authenticated, and if authenticated, we will again recheck that user is authenticated or not. If it's he or she is authenticated, then is his data present in our database or not. So it is like a kind of cross verification. So let's restart our app and test it out. Let's test out our entire app and the logics we have implemented now. So first we will go with authentication. I will write out my number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think so. Yeah, it's 1. Okay, continue. And the OTP was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me show you that currently in our Firebase, if I just reload it again, currently in our Firebase database, we don't have any data. Yeah, okay. So the logic we implemented right now was that if we do in our database, the user data is not there, then we will display the user data screen, like user data input screen. So currently I am not there, my data is not there in the database. So let's see if the logic is implemented or not. Like I will continue here and it redirects me to the home screen. So by sign in logic, yeah. So here we haven't implemented this check user one. Okay. So again, I will go with check user. So what this check user will do, like it will check that user is there or not. If user is there, then it will push us to user bottom bar, or you can say home screen, else it will push us to user data input screen. So let us just reload the app again. Yeah, Amazon. Let's retest the app. So I'm gonna insert a phone number here that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, and I will press it continue. And here comes my OTP screen: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are my default like testing phone number and OTP. So I will press continue here. And as you can see, so currently it's showing me to enter my data here. So I'll go to Firebase and I'll just refresh here. So here in our database, we don't have any data currently. So that's the reason it's showing me to enter my name and the data. So I will just go with like enter my name and yeah, and go with proceed. So whites again. Yeah, my data is here. Then why I'm getting this one again. So let me check here. All pressed. Okay. Add new user. Sign in logic. And then check user. To bottleneck bar. Okay, let me restart the app. Okay, so there's an if statement here, but I also have to go with the else statement. Let's save it. Restart the app. Okay, it's not returning anything. That's the reason. Yeah. So let's save this logic here and restart our app. Okay, it's good. So the thing, it was like that earlier we have implemented this logic, but we didn't return the value. That was the main reason we were getting the sign of user data input screen again and again. So we have added a variable here, and if the result is true, it's updating the variable and we are returning it. Okay. So we are in our home screen and we have successfully added this function like to add user data to our database. Now we will go to our database and as you can see, our data is there. So the next logic we're going to implement here is the address of the user. So we'll go to address model here and these are the fields. Okay. So let's make a screen for this one. So basically in Amazon app, you are in the home screen, a pop-up is there. That is a bottom sheet is there. So where you can select your address. So let's implement the same. So let's implement the address screen, or you can say the address bottom sheet and address sheet. Okay. So here we will add another folder, naming it address screen. Yeah. And here file screen.dart. Okay. So here we will go with a stateful widget and name it address screen. And here we will go with scaffold. So the app bar, we're gonna copy the same app bar as the user data screen. So we'll go to the top and copy this app bar. And we will come here and do the same. The next thing we're gonna copy from here is this 3 line of codes, that is width, height, and text theme, and then paste it here. Yeah, it looks good. Import the color here, that is the gradient, and yeah. So again, this address screen where I'm gonna go to the main. And let's import this. Save it. We need to restart the app. Okay. So now we will add all of these parameters which are there in the address model, that is name, mobile number, except this one. Okay. do not add text field for this parent. So name, mobile number, house number, area, landmark, pin code, town, state, and again each default it's gonna be a bool function. Okay. So for now, no need to add. So this each default is always gonna be true. So we don't suppose a user is adding a new address, so by default that address will be the default address. So it will just the others address will be marked as false, and this is going to be the default address. Okay. So let add text field for this. So what I'm gonna do is that I will just copy it out and here I will mark a widget, and here I will go with a new file, naming it address screen text field dot dart. It will be stateful one. Sorry, I will do it later on. So now for now, I will go with container preferred size and then body. Here it will be container width gonna be width, and I'm gonna add a little bit of padding here. Padding here will be edge inserts dot symmetric horizontal width into 0.03 and vertical height into 0.01. Sorry, 0.02. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to add controllers here, that is text reading controller. For every parameter, we need to add text reading controller. So I will go to address model, name, mobile number, house number, area. Text editing controller. Name controller. I will copy it out. Paste. Yeah. Let me have a look. How many parameters are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 parameters. So that will be more name, mobile number, house number, area. House, area, landmark, house, area, landmark, pin code, town, and state. That should be pin code, town, and state. Okay. Save this one. Then we'll come back here. We'll go to user data input screen. Copy the entire thing. And again, return to this screen. Go with child, and here will be column, children, and paste it here. Okay. We will import this common function and let's save it. Okay, it looks good. So we want to remove the padding here. Content padding. Vertical 0 and horizontal width into 0.03. Yeah. Now currently our text field is the height of the text field is a bit big, so we will save it, and it's the height has been reduced. So column children. Okay. Now the thing is that I really want to wrap, like, reduce excessive code. So I will just add this 3 widgets inside column, and now I will extract this column. Extract widget and name it as text address bar address string text field. Okay. So it is good. Now this 2 parameters and this parameters, we don't need it. Text controller. Every text controller. Yeah. So we need to add this 3 line of codes. Yeah. And it's done. Yeah. Remove this text controller to be name controller, comma, common functions dot blank space height is going to be height into 0.01 and width is going to be 0. Yeah. So let's save this one. Another 3 things, that is the title and hint text we need to add. Final string title, final string hint text. Title and here the hint text. In text and here it will be title. Okay. So here also we need to add these 2 parameters, that is required this dot title and required this dot hint text. Okay. We will come back here. Title, enter your name, hint text, that will be the same thing, enter your name. Okay. We will now simply save this one. Yeah. Another thing, this column here, cross-axis alignment should be star. Yeah, it looks good now. So what we'll do, we will just copy this same thing multiple times, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So first we are having name, then mobile, then house. Name, mobile, mobile controller, then comes house number, house controller, here it will be house controller, and then area, landmark, pin code, and town. So after house we will go with area. Here it will be area controller, landmark pin code. Okay, next gonna be landmark, and here it will be simply landmark pin code, and then comes pin code. Okay. Landmark controller, enter your pin code. Pin code, and it should be pin code controller. And after pin code, there comes the town state. Town, and here it will be only town. And last one is going to be the state. Okay, so we'll copy it again and make it state. Let's save it. Yeah, so the spacings are like 2 less, so we will increase this to 2. Yeah, so as you can see, we do have an arrow here. So to fix it, we will simply wrap our entire column with the widget that is single child scroll view. Let's save this one. Yeah, it's gone now. So here, okay. So after all of these things, we need to add a button at last. That is, we need to make it 24. Then we need to go with elevated button. On pressed, it will add up this address to our database. And next, add address. Style gonna be text theme dot 14 medium. Yeah. And we need to go with styling also. So elevated button dot style from background color gonna be amber, and minimum size gonna be size width comma height into 0.02, sorry, 0.06. Yeah, that will be sufficient. And after this elevated button, I need to add a little bit of free space again. And paste it here. Here, instead of 4, it will go to 2. Save it. Yeah. Yeah, now it looks good. So let's add the functionality to add this address. So we'll go to our services folder. That will be model, services folder, user data CRUD services. Inside user data CRUD, we will go with another function, that is add user data address, add user address. So what we're gonna do is like copy this same thing. After all, it's gonna be the same code after we will reuse it. Like we will not go and type out all of the things. Async, and we will be in need of two things, that is required build context. Context required address model. Address model. Okay. So instead of your users, it will be address. So our code for adding users address will be await Firestore collection, and then in doc, we are the doc ID will be the user's phone number and then the address model. So as we know then that a user can have multiple address, so it should be a list of collection, right? So we will add here dot collection, and we will provide it the name as address dot doc. Now we need to add a doc ID here. Okay. So in address model, we will add another parameter that will be doc ID. Okay. That is string doc ID. Okay. We will simply generate constructor and generate JSON serializer. So here for this doc ID, we will need to add another package, that is Flutter verb add UUID. So this package basically works like that. In like every second, or you can say every millisecond, it like using the help of time and date, it generates a unique ID. Okay. So let's do a thing. And here, okay, and it will be string doc ID equals to UID dot v1. Okay, v1 stands for like the version. Okay, like how the complexity and the things will be there. So we will simply go here, address and doc. Here we doc ID. Yeah. So on completion, it will give us a toast message that address added successful. Yeah. So let's have like view this code, that is add user address. So at first we are importing this package, that is UUID, then we are generating a unique ID, and then we are storing the data to Firebase. Okay. So the collection name is going to be Firebase address. The collection name is address, and inside address we are going with the user's phone number. Then we are making another sub collection, that is address, and inside address we are making different collections, different docs. And the doc ID is going to be unique. For the unique doc ID, we have taken this one, like doc ID, and then we are creating this data, or we are pushing this data to the Firebase database, and on completion we are getting a toast message that is address added successful. So another thing, that is suppose a user just recently joined and he or she don't have any address saved in database. So we need to check that whether database is present or not. So we are simply going to do is like that. Here we have gone for check user. We'll simply copy this one and paste it here. Check users address. Okay. And we will copy this that is this one with I think we can skip this one because it's gonna be the entire collection gonna be the same person's collection only. So here address present equals to false. Address present, yeah, return address present. So here it checks for user address and here it adds user address. So we'll go to our home screen, that is view users home screen. And in home screen we will check for check user address. Okay. And it's gonna be async function await user data crew dot check user address board user address present equals to this one, and if user address present equals to true, it's fine. You can skip this equals to true. That is also fine. After all, it just says like, okay, it's true or not. And this if function will only execute if it's true. So if you want, you can write. If you don't want, you can skip this. That is this part. Okay. If it's true, then only it's gonna execute this if function. So if it's true, then nothing. Sorry. If user address present equals to false, show bottom sheet context and builder. Here gonna be return container. Okay. So I'll just simply remove this. Return container height. It's gonna be media going to of context dot size dot height. Okay. And here goes final width equals to this. I'll just copy it from here. And okay. So height here gonna be 30% of the screen height. And width gonna be entire width. And decoration, I don't need box decoration here, that is border radius on the top left. Here it will be radius dot circular 10, and top right here will be radius.circular depth. Okay, so now it's good. Let's save this one, and we will call this function whenever the user lands on this. Okay, so we do need to add a init here. Init state widget binding dot dot instance dot add post code from. I will just copy it from here and we will paste it here. And instead of this, we will check user's address. Okay, now it's good. Let's restart the app. So the model bottom sheet code looks like that. Wherever our user lands on the home screen, so first it will check in the Firebase database whether the user's address, at least one user address is present or not. If it's not there, then it will show us a model bottom sheet. Okay, so this is the code for this model bottom sheet. I haven't added any like widget inside of it. It's just a demo. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, so if I just refresh this one, so there is a database for only users, not for address. So let me restart the app, and whenever we will land on this, that is at current stage, we don't see any model bottom sheet. But let me uncomment this code. Inside init state, we have called this function, that is user address, check user address. And let me restart the app here. Yeah, as you can see, as soon as it checks that, okay, the user don't have any address, so this model bottom sheet pops up. Okay, so inside this container, the child I'm gonna give here is child, and here it will be a grid view builder. Sorry, there will be a list view builder. Yeah, it will be context comma index item count. For now, let's go with item count 1, and scroll direction, it will be axis dot horizontal, shrink wrap gonna be true, and okay. So we do have this container, but we want to add a little bit of padding also. Padding here, it will be is just dot symmetric vertical, here will be height into 0.04. So I think we'll be good on this container. Okay, the child here I will go with column, and text here that will say add address, style theme.off context dot text theme dot body medium copy width font weight and it will be font weight dot bold. Yeah. Now we need to return container here. Return container. And we're also going to add a comma here. Let's save this one. And this container, the width gonna be width into 0.03 and padding not 0.03, it's gonna be 3. Padding here, we also need to add a bit of padding here. Okay, so system symmetric horizontal width into 0.03 and vertical height into 0.01. Okay, and decoration, yeah, box decoration, border radius, it will be border radius dot circular 10 border all color gray shade 3. Okay, now it looks good. Save this one. Okay, and the child here I'm gonna add is child window context index equals to 0, return text address, comma, style, I will copy this code, paste it here, and here it will be body small and copy with this, and color gonna be gray shade 3. Yeah. Okay. Else it will return the same. Let's save. We have saved this one. Let's restart it. Okay. So we haven't added any size to this list view. So height, it's going to be height into 0.18. Yeah. Let's restart it again. Yeah. As you can see, it says add address and here it is. So we also that main axis alignment dot space evenly and cross axis alignment dot start. Yeah. Again, we need to restart this. So the main difference in this pop-ups are that you need if you want to look for any changes, you need to restart it again. So we want to add padding we want to add horizontal padding also, but here we haven't added any horizontal padding. So horizontal width into 0.03. Yeah, that looks good. Now let's restart it again. Yeah, it looks good. Add address. Yeah. Okay. So let's make it like 15, and instead of 3, let's make it 4. And it will be good. Another thing, alignment. Here will be alignment dot c center. Okay. Now we start. So there's a little bit of changes here. I've just updated the width to 35% and the height of this one. Sorry, not that one. And the height of the size box to 15%. Okay. So currently it looks like this one. So we want to wrap our container with inkwell, inkwell on tab. We will check if index equals to 0, then navigator dot push. Here will be material, page route, context. Here we need to navigate to the address screen, and the address screen name was address screen. Okay. AWTR equals address screen. Okay, good. So instead of this material page route, I should go with page transition instead. Page transition. Child here gonna be address screen, and transition tab gonna be page transition type right to left. Okay. Here I will go with const and I'll save it. Okay. So let's restart our app. Yeah, the moment I press here, it takes me to app this add my address screen. So let's implement this add address screen logic. So let's implement the logic for address screen, that is this screen. So the logic here is that suppose a user who is newly registered to Amazon didn't add the address. So the moment he will click on add address, he or she, the user, will be redirected to this screen. After filling up all of this text fields, the moment he press on add address, the address will be added to our database, that is Firebase database. So let's implement this logic. We will come to the elevated button of the address screen and address address model equals to address model. Okay. So there are multiple parameters in the address model. As you can see, name, mobile number. I will simply just copy them and yeah, paste them just for reference. Okay, this is not like that. This is gonna be our code. I just don't want to go back to that screen again and again. That's the reason. Name, then mobile number, then comes authenticated mobile number, then comes house number, then comes area, then landmark, pin code, town. We have gone to pin code, town, state, doc ID, is default. Yeah, that will do. And then I will remove all of these things. We will save it here. So name here it will be name controller dot text dot trim. We will copy this thing and authenticated mobile number. It will be auth dot. We need to import this auth. So auth dot current user dot phone number. House number gonna be house controller dot this. Area gonna be area controller dot text dot trim. Landmark gonna be landmark controller dot text dot trim. Pin code here to be pin code controller dot text dot trim. Town here gonna be town controller dot text dot trim. State goes the same, state controller dot text dot trim. Is default true. Doc ID. Okay, mobile number here gonna be mobile controller dot text dot trim. Okay. So for the doc ID, we'll go with UUID. UUID equals to UUID and string doc ID UUID dot p1. Okay. So here it will be doc ID. And now let's save it. Yeah. There are all the parameters. We have like here all the parameters are there. Now we need to push this data to our database. So user data crew dot add user's address map. Oh, I think we don't need this one instead. We should pass the parameter string doc ID and address string doc ID on doc ID. Yeah. So after add user address, okay. After user address added, now we need to pop the screen that is navigate data dot pop context. Okay. Now let's set. So let's add this data here. Name, I'm gonna write my name. Mobile number 123456789. House number 53B. Area ABC. Landmark gonna be same ABC. lint mark and API ABC. Pin code, I will just give some random pin code 853004. Town, here I will go with like Bengaluru. State, Telangana. Okay, now let's click on this button and see what our function is working properly or not. Okay, so add address. Yeah, data added successful. So now we will go to the Firebase thing, refresh this one, and yeah, boom, we have this thing address. Yeah, all of the fields are there. So the next time we reload our app, we won't get this bottom sheet. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, we don't see this bottom sheet because at least one address is already here. Okay, now let's implement the address in the home page here. So we'll go to home screen. So here I have implemented a function that is get all address. Basically, we have declared two variables, that is all addresses, like the all address of user, and another the default address. So at first it goes with a query snapshot and checks for like it fetches all of the user's address, and then it converts the snapshots to a list of address model. As you can see, for each it converts the like basically it converts the snapshot to address model and adds in this list. Okay. Another thing it does is that it basically checks whether the current address which our code is adding up is default or not. If it's the default address, then it will simply add that address in here. Okay. So let's implement the provider for this one. So we'll got auth provider and not new folder. We will go for new file, address provider.art. Class address provider extends, sorry, extends change notifier. Okay. So the variables here will be list of address model, model history, a blank list, address model, current selected address equals to address model. Get all address, and it is going to be async one. So all address model equals to await user data root dot get all address, and then you will go for notify listeners. And another we need to check is that get current selected address, and it is also going to be async current selected address equals to await. We'll go to user.data code, move down, and create a function that is static future get current selected address async. So nothing to do much. We will just simply copy this try catch. We will revoke this line of code. And it should return defaulted. It should return default address, and yeah, it will do. Let's save this one. Okay, so the logic here is that I have created a address model. We using try catch. Yeah, using try catch. Inside try catch, I have just fetched all of the address data, and then in loop I have checked whether the data is the current, like whether this address is the default address or not. If it's the default address, then save that address to the default address, and afterwards, after the loop is finished, then return that address. Okay. We can do another thing. Break. So I am inside the loop, right? Okay, no issues. Now, this thing, provider await user data crude dot get current selected address and notify listening. So I will go to the home screen. I'll come into the home screen, and in each state. Okay. In state here, I will go for address context dot read address provider dot get current selected address. Okay. So here, home screen address bar, and there comes home screen category list. So we'll go to address bar here, and in address bar we have defined only container. So we'll go with child. So here context comma address provider, and here it will be child. And here in contrast, in consumer, we need to name out like what is the provider name, and here it will be address provider. Okay. So now we'll check if address provider dot current selected address dot okay, we need to add two more parameters here to this address provider, that is two bool values. bool fetched current selected address equals to false, and bool fetched all address equals to false. Yeah. So we will update fetched all address equals to true, and here we will update this one, fetched current selected address equals to true. Okay. So we'll come back here and we will look if address provider dot fetch current selected address equals to false, then so the image here is it is like, so this is our home screen. So at first there goes a location one. So here will be return row children and icon. So if you see, the first thing goes here is the location icon, then the username, and then the address. So first we will go with the location icon, and then we color it black, and then comes the text that is deliver to address model. So we'll add the address model here, that is for the current address. Address model equals to default address model, or you can say selected address model. Set address address provider dot current selected address. Yeah. So deliver to selected address dot name dash, then here comes the location. So location will be selected address dot town, comma state. Okay, I think this much will be good. Town, comma state. Yeah. Okay. So if address provider fetched current selected user address equals to false. Okay, this needs to be true. Else we will simply return the same, but okay, this after this icon we need to add a little bit of common spacing, or blank space, that is common functions dot blank space. Height gonna be 0, and for the width we're gonna be width into 0.02. Yeah, this will do good. and we will return the same row, and their main axis alignment will be main axis alignment of start row. We will return the same row, but here user, city, state. Okay. So we also do need to call this this provider. So we'll go to init state here, and yeah, it's already, we have called it. So let's restart our app. Okay, there it shows error because we haven't added the provider there in the main screen. So I will copy this one, paste it, and instead of auth provider, it will be address provider. And here it will be address provider. Let's save it, and we, okay, so here in this screen, in this address box, we have this address container. We have added this icon, that is address location icon, and then deliver to the username, and then there comes the city name and then state. So if this if users address is not present in our database, then we're gonna show here that is deliver to user dash city comma state. Okay, so we also need to add styling here. So let's copy the styling from the upper, that we style text theme dot body small. Yeah, we will copy it from here and then paste it here, save it. Okay, it's good to go. So we have implemented the address and the user database in this video, and in the upcoming video we're gonna go with the seller section. We will be adding the database codes for adding new product. Okay, in the next video we're gonna add codes for database where the seller can add new products. Okay, meet you in next video.